Airs. What do you like on the show today?
There's something on this show that's got me so heated. I can't tell you what it is. You'll know when you see it.
Oh, wow. A tease. Dale, papi.
Did the Patriots' offensive explosion last night prove that they are the team to beat in the AFC?
What a great job the Patriots have done of helping Tom Brady age, whether it's getting Rob Gronkowski or now Josh Gordon catching his 500th touchdown or Sony Michel looking like the best running back they've had since Tom Brady has been there. But no, last night was not about that. The Colts fielded not a professional team last night, a professional quarterback and a bunch of other guys in Colts uniforms. That team was too injured, and Thursday night games are practically unethical. You combine those things, I'm surprised the game was even that close.
I mean, I'll give you that the Colts didn't seem like they couldn't even fill their roster spaces yesterday with healthy players. I understand that. But the Patriots need two things normally to get back on a roll once they start the season kind of shaky. One, they need an overconfident AFC East opponent. Done, check, beat the heck out of the Dolphins last year. They also need to see Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck doesn't beat the Patriots. He doesn't beat Tom Brady. He's 0-6. And so you go out there and you just put on that offensive display. Because right now, Dan, the NFL is about offense. This year is going to be an offensive explosion. It has been so far. So when we're going to look back and say, oh, Tom Brady didn't have any weapons, by the end of the year, he'll have Julian Edelman healthy. He'll have Rob Gronkowski, where maybe you can't double him with defensive backs all the time because, oh, on the other side is Josh Gordon streaking down the field. I think what this win does for the Patriots, it just gives them more comfort. And now the Chiefs, yeah, they're intimidating, but nobody else in that AFC is right there with the Patriots.
But last night wasn't the test. He mentioned the Chiefs. They'll play them soon enough, and then you have a better measurement than probably even the last 5 games.
Man, the Patriots again, you know, the same old. I mean, the Dolphins, they came out of the gate strong.
I know. They came out 3-0.
They came out strong, and the Patriots, they were down the and all of a sudden, it's the other way around now. The Dolphins are going down, the Patriots are going to semi.
You know what I mean? It is. Yes, it is.
That's
right. It is.
Are the Colts being reckless with Andrew Luck?
It's an interesting question because if you look over the last 4 days, you're going to find 120 passes from the surgically repaired arm of Andrew Luck. The last 2 games have been crazy because they don't have any other weapons over there, and he's got to throw the ball all over the place. But if you're asking me about recklessness, we are not qualified as doctors to know what goes into a rehab. I would simply say to you this, that if you are trying to get a quarterback healthy and right, the Colts appear to have done it in the wrong way.
To add on to your 120 passes in a 4-day span, he's also on pace to throw 740 passes for the year, which would be nearly 60 more than the NFL record held by Matthew Stafford. However, if I'm the Colts, what are my other options? If you assume his arm is healthy and the doctors tell you his arm is healthy, okay, throw the ball because real quick, who's the Colts running back?
Who is it? I saw him last night. Who is it?
It's someone named Hines, okay? So if you're going to hand the ball off to someone named Hines 40 times, you're probably going to get fired as a coach and a GM. So of course you have to throw Andrew Luck out there. At the very least, you'll know by the end of the year his arm is healthy if it hasn't fallen off.
I have another option, you know. He's in Canada, you know, he's having a slow start, you know, but he got what it takes to put this season together and to take a team and put it on his shoulder, you know what I mean? And he's ready to come down here. He's ready to come down south, you know. He's going to show everybody that he's still got something left in his tank. His name is Juanito Football.
He's also on the bench in Canada, so he's got plenty of time.
Will Jalen Ramsey regret talking about Tyreek Hill?
I mean, this was fairly amazing, even coming from a guy who spent the offseason ripping players by name. Jalen Ramsey, nobody wants to see Tyreek Hill this day running around in a secondary, but Jalen Ramsey doesn't seem to mind.
I don't like how, whoever has made it a matchup, me against Tyreek. He's good for what he does for their team. He made All-Pro as a return specialist. Let's get that right. As a return specialist, his rookie year, he went to 2 Pro Bowls as a return specialist. 2 years, I made All-Pro in my position as a corner. Went to the Pro Bowl as a corner. So it's not a wide receiver versus corner matchup. So we can get that out of the way.
I love how he scans the room to make sure he's getting his point across to all the media saying, hey, this is how this must be reported. I am the greatest. They are not. What he's saying is absolutely true. It's also a nightmare to play that position. The last thing you want to do is have people coming at you even harder than they normally do. I give him what he's saying. Tyreek Hill, he's not your classic beat you down the field, beat you all over the field type of wide receiver. He's a return guy. He's got quick feet. But that's the kind of thing that can make you look ridiculous out on the football field, is a guy just getting you with a couple of moves here or there. This guy has to be the most confident cornerback since Deion Sanders.
Seriously, they come from the same school, and this guy is also the second best athlete I've seen come out of FSU since Deion Sanders, and he's got the same kind of swagger, but he does something that Deion Sanders didn't even do, which is he does this by name. He does not mind calling people out by name. Nobody's doing that these days.
Well, who cares about Tyreek Hill, you know? You know who's going to take this personally? Patrick Mahomes. He's going to set the score. That's right. He's going to put everybody straight on the same level now.
It is interesting. Cornerbacks need to worry about the quality of quarterback they're playing against.
Again, my father continues to call the best passer we've seen in many years, instead of Mahomes, turds in Spanish.
Did Kyrie Irving do the right thing by announcing he wants to resign with the Celtics?
Look how cool this was for Celtics fans, because it's been a source of some conjecture. Will Kyrie Irving leave? Will he go to the Knicks? Listen here as he's just talking to fans, and he says exactly the thing they want to hear.
I appreciate that, Scout. I joined him, but I shared it with some of my teammates as well as the organization and everyone else in Boston. If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here next year.
Oh!
So, I appreciate it.
This is one of my favorite things about when guys change teams. It feels like we get to know them a little bit better. At least Kyrie Irving we are. Kevin Durant we have been since he's been to Golden State. And getting to know Kyrie, people thought he went over there because he wanted to be the man. People thought he wanted to go to the Knicks after this Boston experience because he wanted to be the man and have a different experience. And I think what we're learning is just that Kyrie is just a different kind of dude as well. He's a bit of an intellect despite all the flat earth discussion. He does want to be the guy, but he can be the guy on this team. He could be the leader that Jason Tatum needs. He could be the guy that turned Gordon Hayward into a real superstar here. So just the idea of him coming out and saying this is just kind of a little bit shocking to people and say, hey, I thought he wanted different things, but no, he can still be the man on this great Celtics team.
Does it make me a bad person that I was rooting here? And I understand this is a heartwarming moment, but I was rooting for the opposite of this, for him to get up and say, hey, everybody, I'm leaving now. I don't plan on resigning here. Do you think the reaction to that would have been good? Do you think so? Because I think we would have enjoyed that.
He's not that different a dude.
You know, if Carmelo did that in Houston, all the fans would boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yes.
Boo.
I plan on resigning. Boo.
That's right.
Boo. Already we're doing this to Carmelo. He hasn't taken a regular season shot.
Does Conor McGregor need to win tomorrow night to keep his place as the UFC's biggest star?
He isn't going to win tomorrow night. He is the biggest star, even though in this fight he is an underdog because he's fighting someone who has never lost a round. This guy got into this game talking a big game. The best in the fighting business since Muhammad Ali when it came to talking and selling fights, and he will remain the biggest star and the biggest sell because of the way that he sells the violence and he puts up exciting fights. This guy's going to be a star for a while, and he's the only one that the UFC really has right now.
Dan, I think you're falling for it a little bit. Like, we've heard all this talk about guys, oh, wait till I get Conor to the ground. I understand that Khabib is saying that, hey, not everybody understands MMA. Only about 10% of the audience actually does. That's fine. If you only were catering to that 10% of the audience, you're not going to have a UFC. You're not going to have a successful organization here. So Conor, even though he is a lot of talk, even though he is a lot of publicity, he's also very good. He's also got a ridiculously strong jaw, and that's part of the intrigue here. How many hits can he take and still come out on top? I consider myself a UFC fan. I'm a big TJ Dillashaw fan. I think that whole bantamweight division is very intriguing right now. But absolutely the UFC needs Conor McGregor. So it's more important for the UFC to have him win than it is for Conor. Conor's already got his 9 figures.
Are you kidding me? He's fighting against a guy who wrestles bears?
Yes, that's right.
He's screwed, man.
Yeah,
He's screwed.
yeah, that's
You got no
usually-
chance, man.
I mean,
Wrestling with bears? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you mentioned
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
So this is his girlfriend who is going to come into the screen here, and now she's panicked, right? This is horrible video because her man has had an accident of some sort on his pink motorcycle.
My Son's TV show is brought to you by Ace, the helpful place.
Insurance.